This group here kicked ass in helping their teams with the presentations for the last 3 months, but yesterday we're here as support as alternates. So number one, round of applause for being here to support your teams. Definitely appreciate it. So rather than have these guys just sitting in the back, what we did is an alternate, a challenge is what we did. So the challenge that was presented to this group here was essentially the school that was being built by the rest of the competitors over the last couple months. The board of directors requested a new master plan. Essentially, they wanted to know what was most beneficial to the community. They wanted to increase school student population by 15% over the next couple years. So basically, this group was challenged with coming up with a new master plan solution. So this was some of the requests that were on the challenge for this group here. So the board of directors, what they requested is essentially they wanted to hit 4 of their goals and add a new one. So up on the screen here, you can see some of the potential requests asked by the board of directors for the new master planners to go figure out in their budget. So it included modernization of the new high school, a new roof for the elementary school, a new addition for the elementary school, in addition to the president's house, a better walking path between the middle school and the high school, elementary school, a new parking garage, essentially a whole list of ideas here, as well as anything this creative group could come up with. So some of the parameters for this group, they basically had a $150 million budget. If they needed more money, potentially, for whatever their solution wanted to be, what were some fundraising ideas they could go do that to increase their budget? If they needed more land to potentially go accommodate their master plan, there was 8 more acres available, but they'd have to cut into their budget by 15 million. So essentially their plan, so what we challenged this group with, I wanted to see proposed sequence and timeline of the new campus master plan, some of the pros and cons of their anticipated solution, some rough order of dollars, anticipated schedule, and basically just the life cycle, maintenance issues, safety and security issues. So this was the challenge. It was very open. Basically, we need a plan. You got 150 million. What do you guys think is the best solution? So that was the challenge, and I'm going to turn it over to this group here, who organized themselves, kind of got them squared away, and I'll let you guys kind of take it from here.
Thank you. All right. Good morning. So today, we will present the following changes to the Lake Highland Preparatory School that will not only benefit the community, but boost enrollment as well. In prior PTA meetings, the Board of Directors have discussed several additional changes to the Lake Highland Preparatory School. These changes will not only benefit the community, but boost enrollment as well, and here they are. So today, I will be representing the University of Wisconsin-Platteville with my teammate here, Mike. Next, I'd like to introduce the University of Northern Iowa.
So we decided to implement a practice soccer field. It'll be across the pond in between the baseball field and the softball field that are already over there. That gives us some pretty level land to already work with, and it has the space to accommodate the practice field.
Some of the pros is that make practice times easier between football and soccer and lacrosse. Some of the cons is that they don't have a locker room. They also have to walk all the way around the lake. The timeline is that they'll just excavate the dirt, roll it, lay the sod, and then roll it again to hit the specifications of a soccer field. Next, we have Kent State.
So, we're making a playground. Well, replacing it. So our plan is to demolish the existing playground, and then we will add a new playset, a rock climbing wall, and exercise equipment. This will take about 2 weeks, and the ROM will be about $320,000.
When it comes to maintaining the playground, we are going to focus on making sure the equipment is up to date, it's in order, and it is secured. So we are going to hire a subcontractor to install it for us. For the pros, playgrounds through research was found to be critical for the development of children. So with that, it is beneficial for their physical, mental, and social development, as well as supporting their mental health, having them get experience with outside rather than being cooped up in a classroom all day. And then with that, we're going to talk about the cons as well.
So the cons are the changes in the ground level, overcrowded play areas, unprotected elevated areas. You know, you don't want a kid falling and getting a concussion. Sharp points and edges, no cuts. There can be strangulation hazards and excessive sun exposure. We're going to pass it off to the University of Cincinnati.
Thank you. We're planning to build an educational greenhouse. This greenhouse is going to have a dimension of 20 feet long by 12 feet wide with a maximum altitude of 8 feet. It's an estimated work for 220 days. We're planning to have a pre-construction phase for 90 days and then a construction phase for 30 days with an estimate of $30,000. Our estimate also consists of the materials and the delivery methods for this. It's going to cost a lot, about $19,500 plus $8,000 for labor, and we're going to hire a specialist who is going to be able to give some guidance and also inspect the greenhouse for the kids. Then this comes up to $30,000. Yeah, pretty much I'm going to pass over to my friend.
So with proper maintenance of this greenhouse, we expect it to last 30 to 40 years, which will make the price worth it, as long as there's regular cleaning and inspections for any damaged mold of the ventilation systems. The main safety concern is storm damage because it is Orlando. The pros of this is it will improve the physical and mental well-being of the students, and it will provide the opportunity of an agricultural curriculum. The cons is it is a sizable upfront investment, and it requires constant maintenance from someone who has proper requirements. I will pass it off to UW Platteville.
Thank you. So next I'd like to present to you a safe walking and bike path. So previously, students would walk from the lower middle school to the Lake Highland Preparatory School by using existing roadways and whatever sidewalks were available. We would like to propose a safe walking path between the two. This walking path will consist of a 4-foot wide concrete path that has additional features to allow students to walk safely. This path will be approximately 3,750 feet long. We have 3 phases that we want to propose to build this path. The first phase is going to take approximately 7 days for excavation and grading. Next, we have paving and finishes, which we estimate to take approximately 10 days. And following that, we have lighting and communication, which is approximately 6 days. With that, we do have some life cycle and maintenance issues that we want to cover. So yearly, we do have repainting of the stripes and also refinishing of surfaces. And then bi-yearly, we have removal of trees, grass, and brushes. Next, I'd like to pass it off to Mike.
Thank you, John. So I'd like to follow up with the pros and cons of this proposal. One of the major pros is this bike path serves as a safe, secure, and ADA compliant path for students to travel between campuses on. One of the major cons of this proposal is having to rezone of easements, services, and road surface area. Next, I'd like to go over the raw order of magnitude of materials. As seen in the chart presented, we're going to have about 6 inches of stripping and grading, around $36,000. We're going to have a 4-foot by 4-inch PPC slab on grade for about $42,000. We're going to have LED pole lights. We're going to have LED pedestrian cross signs, safety call boxes, and communications with wire. As a total, this will be around $22,000. Lastly, I'd like to talk about the safety and security concerns of this bikeway. One of the major things is possible harassment on these trails. Therefore, we're going to solve this by having emergency call boxes in every line of sight distance. Next is adequate lighting for pedestrians and bicyclists on this pathway. We're going to solve this by having efficient LED monopole lights every 100 feet for adequate lighting. Lastly is the concern of crosswalks over major intersections that this path goes through. We're going to solve this by having LED signs that have push buttons that alter traffic signaling to promote better and safer crossing for students. Thank you. I'd like to hand this over to Fresno State.
All right. This was work between Fresno State and our friend Caleb from Colorado State. We're doing the new roof for the Bradshaw building, aka the lower school. So we were looking at it, and it seemed like it was going to be corrugated roofing. We came up with a total of around 35,000 square feet, and with the pitch, we seemed to add 30% to the pitch, so it was 45,000. And when we seen the RS means data, we came up with the number of 326,000, and that was our price towards the end. And I'm gonna pass it to Luis.
Thank you, Tomas. Some of the pros, obviously, is that it's a new roof. There's less maintenance on it, and the roof is guaranteed by the installer. Some of the cons is obviously safety concerns that we have. It is at a school. It is Orlando, so it's a little. We also have that we need a quick turnaround because the school is still in function. So the timeline is about 4 weeks. 1 week just for demolition, and then 3 weeks for new construction. And then I'll pass the mic on.
One of the big things we worry about being at the school is safety and security, especially for the kids. So we plan to do this project during the summer months to avoid having any kids around the project for extra safety. With that too, it's being done in the summer, so we want to make sure the workers aren't getting overheated. We're going to give them extra breaks, make sure they're staying hydrated, taking what they need so nobody's getting hurt. As far as security goes, we're going to make sure we have a security guard on site while we're installing the product, just to make sure nobody's messing with anything or tampering with anything, since we're not setting up a site fence since it's an existing building. With that being said though, those are all of our different projects we want to propose to the school to help benefit everybody and a lot of the kids that go there. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. Our selection committee certainly appreciates the creative initiatives that your team has presented. A lot of good things for consideration. One of the things that we wanted to ask is, in any of these, have you considered any partnerships with community organizations or sponsorships that would assist in some of the financing for these initiatives?
We actually did for the bike path, and the city of Orlando probably would really want to help us maintain that because it will revitalize some of the existing roads that are near that area. Because we're going to build a barrier on the side of the road for children to pass. We're maintaining the road that's next to it. So we'd like to partner with the city of Orlando to create a nicer looking road. Or fund it.
Quick question. So I think the budget for this may come in parts and pieces. So if you guys had to prioritize that list you just ran through, what would be the #1 project out of that list that we should go do first?
Absolutely. So I think student safety is first off. The bike path does provide the safest way to have students travel from campus to campus. I believe that is the #1 issue and should be priority in the budget.
And I think we would do the roof second in that because it's one of the older buildings on campus, and if we can prevent leaks or any possible work needing to be done in the future on that building, that was something we want to go for as well.
All right, I'll ask another one. So you talked about the greenhouse and the agricultural aspects it brings. Can you elaborate a little bit more on maybe what classes or what you'd want to grow in that and how the students would be engaged with the greenhouse?
Oh, for the classes for the greenhouses, we are actually trying to implement the hydroponic system, which is pretty much teaching the kids how to use the vertical walls and how to use and reduce the space, because the hydroponic system reduces the spaces to have more type of plants and have more just have more diversity and have more learning experiences with those.
I got a quick question. With the soccer field, have you all considered maybe making that a multi-purpose field so that we can get more use than just soccer?
Yep, so we'll put all the lines on there for lacrosse and potentially football as well. All of them are different seasons, so you would be able to use it for each season for each sport without having really any crossover.
So this being a school and community involvement being very important, plus students and parents are very curious about new spaces. Do you have a plan to integrate maybe job site visits or things for the community to come and see what you're actually building and what our money's being spent on? Or is this going to be completely blanketed off, high fences? What's your plan there?
Absolutely. So during the construction phases of these various projects, we do want to get students involved for those who are interested in construction. So we do offer job site tours that are accompanied by our safety personnel. With that, we do like to have groundbreaking ceremonies so the community we can showcase the product that we've made and like to make aware of the spaces that are available for the community to use.
If we elected to pick all the projects, what was the total cost?
So the total cost we estimate to be about, I would say 1.5 million. So it's substantially under the overall budget that was proposed.
Are there any enhancements that you would recommend, knowing that there's a little bit of financing potentially available?
Yeah, so the roof addition, we did look at putting a green space on the roof to get students involved with plant life and various other activities on the roof. I think it would be a great use of the space, but it would have a little bit of additional cost.
With this project needing to go through design once the options are picked, have you accounted for escalation in your estimates to get us through to when design's complete?
Yes, we did account for inflation and various cost differences in material. We do anticipate, that when we start, these prices will inflate. So yes, we did.
Perfect. Well, I think we're out of time, so I just want to say thank you so much to you guys. You guys did a great job in self-organizing and putting this all together. So thanks again.
Thank you so much.